Well, hi children. Last time we have studied the transportation of the gases, and today we will begin with the regulation of the respiratory system. The respiratory systems are the lungs, and our lungs they are regulated mainly by nervous system and chemical system. Our respiratory system is regulated mainly by two control centers, that is neural control center and chemical control center. So the neural control centers they are located in the hindbrain. Where they are located? They are located in the hindbrain. Fine. So in the hindbrain mainly it includes the pons and medulla oblongata. Now let me rub this one and let me keep only the neural and chemical. Hindbrain, let it be. What is there in that? Respiratory centers they are located in the medulla oblongata and pons orali. So these are the parts of the hindbrain. You already have got the knowledge from your high school. Fine. Pons orali and medulla oblongata they are the parts of the hindbrain, and in this the respiratory centers are located. In this the respiratory centers are located which will regulate the contraction and relaxation of the muscles which are involved in inspiration and expiration. Fine. And medulla oblongata it contains respiratory rhythm center which has got both inspiratory and expiratory centers, that is only is given here. So the expiratory center it is connected by the vagus nerve, the nerve which will regulate the respiration, regulate the lung function. So from the medulla oblongata it will innervate the lungs. What is that? It is the vagus nerve. Fine. And pons orali has got the pneumotaxic center and apneustic center. It has got one more center which is also called as apneustic center. Fine. So these two centers, where are they located? They are located in the pons orali. So what is the function of the pneumotaxic center? Pneumotaxic center will help in the regulation of the respiratory rhythm. Respiratory rhythm. Fine. And the neural signal which will come from the respiratory rhythm center will regulate the contraction, that is the relaxation of the lungs. Now I made a little confusion for you people. Let me say once again. So regulation of respiratory system, you remember only this much. Fine. Regulation of respiratory system is by two method, that is neural control and the chemical control. In the neural control, medulla oblongata and pons orali will play an important role because in these two the respiratory centers are located. In the medulla oblongata, respiratory rhythm center is located, and it is also having central chemosensitive area. Fine. And pons orali is having two centers, that is apneustic center and pneumotaxic center. Enough. No confusion. Fine. Now let me go to the chemosensitive areas. So chemosensitive area, where they are located near the rhythm center. Fine. So this chemosensitive area which are located in the brain, they are highly sensitive to the carbon dioxide and hydrogen ions. Last time you have studied that the carbon dioxide and hydrogen ions they are released during metabolism. Fine. Increasing these substances will activate the respiratory rhythm center. Fine. Increase in carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion concentration will activate, or it is sensed by the respiratory rhythm center. Then it will do the necessary arrangements whatever is required. So that much you remember. Fine. So in the chemosensitive area, two chemosensitive areas are there. What are they? peripheral chemosensitive area and central chemosensitive area. So what are those two sensitive area? Central chemosensitive area, and peripheral chemosensitive area. Central chemosensitive area is located in the medulla oblongata, and peripheral chemosensitive area, it is located in the aortic arc and the carotid artery. Aortic arc and the carotid artery. Fine. Aortic arc, you know that heart, you have studied the circulation in your high school. Suppose it is a heart. Fine. So this left part, left ventricle, will supply blood to the different parts of the body through the systemic circulation. So this is the aorta. What is this? This is the aorta, which will branch out and supply blood to the different parts of the body. So here it is having chemosensitive area. Here it is having chemosensitive area, which are called aortic or chemosensitive area. And one branch of this will supply blood to the brain. It will supply blood to the brain, and that is called the carotid artery. What is that called? It is called carotid artery. Fine. So this carotid artery also has got the chemosensitive areas here. So these will sense the carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion concentration, and according to the need, the necessary information will be sent to the central respiratory rhythm center, which is located in the medulla oblongata. Hope I am clear. So chemosensitive areas are of two types, that is central chemosensitive area and peripheral chemosensitive area. Central chemosensitive area, where it is located? It is located in the medulla oblongata by the side of the respiratory rhythm center. Fine. And peripheral chemosensitive area, it is located in the aorta and the carotid artery. Right? Only this much you have to keep in mind. Now let me go to the diagram. Okay, let me rub this one so that when you read the slide, it will be clear for you people. Okay. Now, see how it will function. Let me just go through this diagram. So this is the part of, this is a diagram of the brain, and you have studied this. So this is the cerebrum, which is the largest part of the brain, and you have studied the function of this. It is center for many functions. Fine. Now we are concerned here with the hindbrain. So hindbrain mainly contains the pons, medulla oblongata and cerebellum. Our concern is with pons and the medulla oblongata. So medulla oblongata is having the respiratory rhythm center here. Fine. So this together, it is shown here as inspiratory area and expiratory area. So medullary rhythmicity area, it is given. So this is nothing but RRC, that is respiratory rhythm center. So what is it? It is a RRC. Let me write here, respiratory rhythm center. So nerves from here, they will innervate the lungs. Fine. They will innervate the lungs. Let me write here, lungs. Fine. So the information for the inspiration will be given from the RRC. So what will happen when the information will be given? This RRC, it will just contract, it will just help the lungs to inspire. So inspiration will take place. So when the lungs will inspire, this how inspiration will take place, that already you have studied. It is so here the inspiration will take place and it will remain for 2 seconds. So the diaphragm and external intercostal muscles will contract, result in the inspiration. So after this, the rhythm center will receive message from the pneumotaxic area. So it is having negative effect. So this pneumotaxic area will stop the stimulation for the inspiration, or you can say the message it will send to the lungs for expiration. During expiration, the muscles will relax, fine, and it will remain for 3 seconds. Okay, so together, that is inspiration and expiration, together is called as respiratory cycle. It is called respiratory cycle. Respiratory cycle, fine. How long it will take place? It will take place for 5 seconds, fine. So one respiratory cycle will take 5 seconds. Thus, in 1 minute, how many times do you respire? In 1 minute, how many times do you respire? You will respire 12 to 16 times, which is called respiratory rate. It is the respiratory rate. Fine. So again, the cycle begins with the information which is given by the apneustic center. This apneustic center will give information to the respiratory rhythm center, and again this respiratory rhythm center will contract the muscles which will result in inspiration. So after inspiration, again it will get message from the pneumotaxic center for the relaxation. So like this, the nervous control will be there. Hope I am clear. Fine. And chemosensitive area. The chemosensitive areas which are located here. Let me use red pen for that. Okay. So chemosensitive area, they are located beside the respiratory area in the medulla oblongata. This is chemosensitive area, central chemosensitive area. Chemosensitive area. So to what it is sensitive? It is sensitive to the carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion. So when more amount of carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion will be there, this will be sensed by the chemosensitive area of the medulla oblongata, and it will do the necessary arrangement, necessary information will be given to the RRC. That is how whenever there is a need, we will take the deep breathing, fast breathing, right? And that will be done by the chemosensitive areas of the body. So mainly, the respiratory rhythm center, pneumotaxic area, apneustic center, till now what you have studied this cycle, this full cycle, for what it is? For the normal breathing. Fine. So whenever there is a change, whenever there is a need of more oxygen, at that time which part of the body will sense? Here the chemosensitive area, central chemosensitive area and the peripheral chemosensitive area. That is the aortic arc and the carotid artery. They will sense the increase in the carbon dioxide and hydrogen ion concentration, and they will give necessary information to the RRC. Fine. And then the breathing will be, if it is required fast, the fast breathing will be there. If it is required deep breathing, then deep breathing will be there. Hope I am clear. ಮಕ್ಕಳ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳ್ದ? ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಗೋದು ಎರಡು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಂದ. ಯಾವ್ದಾವುದು? ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ನರ್ವಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹಿಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಹಿಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್? ಮೆಡುಲಾ ಅಬ್ಲಾಂಗೇಟಾ, ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಡುಲಾ ಅಬ್ಲಾಂಗೇಟಾ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನರಗಳ ವ್ಯೂಹ ಇರ್ತದ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ನಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಹೇಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಏರಿಗೆ. ಅದು ಇನ್ಹೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಏನದ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅದ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಹಲೇಷನ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿಂದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸಿಗ್ತದ? RRC. RRC ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ರಿದಮ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್. ಸೊ ಇದೇನಾಗ್ತದ? ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಲಂಗ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ, ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ ಲಂಗ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಏರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಡಯಾಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಕೋಸ್ಟಲ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವ, ಗಾಳಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ಗಾಳಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಹಂಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತೂ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದ? ನ್ಯೂಮೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಕ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ನ್ಯೂಮೋಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಕ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದ? ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಹೊರಲಾಯ್ದ ಇದು ಏನು ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತದೆ ಸಾಕಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಸಾಕು ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗಾಳಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದ? 3 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ 2 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಉಸಿರು ಒಳಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಉಸಿರು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ರಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೇನಂತಾರ? ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ. ಇದಕ್ಕೇನಂತಾರ? ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ. ಇದು ಎಷ್ಟು ತನಕ ಇರ್ತದ? 5 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ತನಕ. ಇದು ಇಡೀ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು ಸೈಕಲ್. ಈ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಇವಿಷ್ಟೇ. ಫೈನ್. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸೈಕಲ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎರಡನೇ ಸೈಕಲ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದ? ಆಪ್ನಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್. ಆಪ್ನಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತದ, ಹಾ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ ಭಾಳ ಆಯ್ತು ಮಗನೇ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಗಾಳಿ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಒಳಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ, ಸೊ ಟೇಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅಂತ ಇದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಅಗೇನ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ರಿದಮ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಗಿನ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಈ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಕೋತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಒಮ್ಮೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ, ಹೌದಾ? ಅಂತ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಒಳಗಿದ್ದು chemosensittive area which are located in the central and the peripheral nervous system, they will help. Central nervous system ನಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದ? ಮೆಡುಲಾ ಅಬ್ಲಾಂಗೇಟಾ ನಾಗ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ರಿದಮ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಬಾಜು ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಕಿಮೋಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಸೆಸರಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ RRC ಕೊಡ್ತದ. ಮತ್ತು ಈವನ್ ದ ಅಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕೆರೋಟಿಡ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಅಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಆರ್ಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಇಂದ ರಕ್ತ ಏನ್ ದೇಹದ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಗಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಯೋಟಾ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಿಮೋಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಮತ್ತು ಕೆರೋಟಿಡ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆದುಳಿಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮೆದುಳಿಗೆ ರಕ್ತ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೋಗ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕೆರೋಟಿಡ್ ಆರ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿನ ಕಿಮೋಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ತಿಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಇಷ್ಟೇನು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ NCERT ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೋಪ್ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಟು ದ disorders of respiratory system. See, disorders of respiratory system, we have to know of all the systems. Already you have studied the digestive system. The first one, it is the asthma. See, asthma, it is actually an allergic disorder, we can say. So here in the asthma, what will happen? The bronchi will constrict. ಬ್ರೋಂಕೈ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದ್ರ ಸೈಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಕೆಸಿಂದ ಉಸಿರಾಟ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಝೋನ್, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದ bronchial lumen size will get decreased. Bronchial lumen size will get decreased and the breathing will become problem. See, usually the bronchi normally they'll be like this. Fine. When the infection will occur, at that time the bronchial lumen size will decrease. So here the size of the lumen of the bronchi will decrease, the passage of the air will not be so easy. Fine. So this is called the asthma. So this usually the person will feel tightness in the chest, he faces the breathing problem. Fine. A wheezing sound will be heard during the breathing. ಈ ಅಸ್ತಮಾ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ? ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋಳಿಗೆ ವೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ವೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ನಾಗ, ಅದು ಹಂಗೆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಸ್ತಮಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಅಸ್ತಮಾ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ here the first person will face difficulty in breathing and especially wheezing sound will be heard while breathing. Why wheezing sound is heard? It is because of the inflammation of the bronchi and the bronchioles. Bronchioles, branches of the bronchi. So hope it is clear. Emphysema ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? So this emphysema, it is asked several times in the annual exam, annual CET you can say, and even in the NEET. So here the alveolar walls will get damaged and due to which the respiratory surface will get decreased. And this mainly occurs in cigarette smokers. Fine. So that is emphysema. What you have to remember? Emphysema is seen in the cigarette smokers. Here the alveolar wall will rupture, due to which the respiratory surface will get decreased. Fine. That is called the emphysema. Actually ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅಲ್ವಿಯೋಲ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತಾವ, ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಬಲೂನ್ಸ್ ಜೋಡಿ ಆದಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗುಚ್ಛ, ಅಂಗೂರ್ ಗುಚ್ಛ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಾ. ಸೊ ದ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಸಿಗರೇಟ್ದ ಹೊಗೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ವಾಲ್ಗಳೇನು ಅದಾವಿಲ್ಲ ನಡುವಿಂದು, ಈ ವಾಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಹಿಂಗಾಗ್ತದ, ಇವು ನಡುವಿನ ವಾಲ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದರ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಏರಿಯಾ ಏನದ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಹೋಪ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ಡ್, and due to which the respiratory surface area will get decreased. Fine. So this you have to remember. And every alveoli, they are supplied with the blood capillary that I told. So when this was surface of the respiratory surfaces will get decreased, automatically the supply also will get affected. So that is about the emphysema. Let me rub this one. Let me take full this one. Fine. Okay. Next we have to go to the occupational respiratory disorder. Occupational respiratory disorder means the respiratory problem which is because of the occupation what the person will do. So usually in some of the occupations, like the person who is working in coal mine and the stone industries, and in certain industries where the dust, smoke or small fibers will get released due to the work mode, and those when we inhale they will enter into the lungs, and the lungs will try to remove it. So if they are in little quantity, our lungs will manage. If they are in large quantity, how it will become little impossible for it to manage. Years together, when we will get exposed to those areas continuously, so automatically our lungs will develop a fibrous tissue in the conducting path. So that is how we will develop the respiratory disorders. Even it has been discovered that some of the people are very sensitive to the dust, especially in the teaching field. Also the person will suffer with the asthma, because the choppies, if they are very dusty, when continuously we inhale, when a teacher inhale the dust, they also suffer with respiratory disorder. Fine. So occupational disorder is mainly occurs in those people who will work, who will get exposed to those areas where the coal dust, asbestos sheet, silica, when they will get inhaled in the respiratory system. That is about the occupational respiratory disorder. So like here silicosis, asbestosis, pneumococcus is given. Fine. Now chronic bronchitis. It is any irritant reaching the bronchi, and the bronchioles will stimulate increased secretion of the mucus. Anything, any irritant, when it will irritate the respiratory system and stimulate the secretion of the mucus, then that is the chronic bronchitis. So in chronic bronchitis, the air passage becomes clogged. It will become less with the mucus, and this leads to the persistent cough. So because of this, always the person will suffer with the cough. And pneumonia, you know that pneumonia is due to infection of the alveoli. It can be caused by bacteria and the viruses. You will read this in second year, bacterial pneumonia and the viral pneumonia. Fine. And here in the alveoli, the fluid will get accumulated. Fine. And the amount of air which must diffuse will get reduced. So the fluid accumulate in the alveoli, reducing the surface area for the diffusion. Automatically it is understood, exposed to air. So these are the disorders which are given in the NCERT. What are given? Asthma is given, emphysema is given, occupational respiratory disorder is given, and pneumonia is given. Pneumonia is not given. Those three only are given. So these three are given. You have to remember these three. Asthma. What is asthma? It is a disorder where the congestion or the inflammation of the bronchi and bronchioles will occur, and it results in the breathing problem. The person will face tightness in the chest. He faces difficulty in breathing, and it causes wheezing sound. This you have to remember. ಅಸ್ಥಮಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ, ಬ್ರೋಂಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಲಮೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಬ್ರಾಂಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನಾಗ ಊತ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಬ್ರಾಂಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನಾಗ ಊತ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದ, ಬ್ರಾಂಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತದ. ಬ್ರಾಂಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿ ಏರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ ಆಗೋ ಒಳಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ವೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಂತಾರೆ ಅಸ್ಥಮಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯು ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್. ಆಂಫಿಸಿಮಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಸಿಗರೆಟ್ ಸ್ಮೋಕರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಏನಿರ್ತದ ಅಲ್ವಿಯೋಲಾರ್ ವಾಲ್ಗ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಂಫಿಸಿಮಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಕ್ಯುಪೇಷನಲ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಜಾಗದ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವ ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಧೂಳಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ಒಳಗೆ, ಇಡ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನಾಗ, ಸಿಲಿಕಾನ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋ ಸಿಲಿಕಾನ್ ಭೂಮಿಲಿಂದ ಅಗಿತಾರಲ್ಲ ಗಣಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಆಸ್ಬೆಸ್ಟಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ರು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಅದ್ರ ಕಣಗಳು, ದೋಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದೊಳಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮದು ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಒಳಗಿರೋ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಸತ್ತು ಹೊಡೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕೋಶಿಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಇಯರ್ಸ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಬರ್ಕೋತ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಫೈನ್. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇವು ಮೂರು ಏನದವ NCERT ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದದ, ಇವು ನೀವು ತಲೆಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಫೈನ್. ಮತ್ತು ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಈ ಕ್ರೋನಿಕ್ ಬ್ರೋಂಕೈಟಿಸ್, ನಿಮೋನಿಯಾ, ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಇರಿಟೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಮ್ಯೂಕಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೆಮ್ಮು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಮ್ಮು, ಕೆಲವರು ಹಮೇಶ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿರ್ತಾರಿಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ. ನಿಮೋನಿಯಾ ಇದು ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನಿಂದ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ವೈರಸ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನಿಂದ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ವೈರಲ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡ್ರೈ ಕಫ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಮ್ದಾಗೊಮ್ಮ ಮ್ಯೂಕಸ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ನೀವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರ್ನಾಗ ಓದ್ತೀರಿ, ತಪ್ಪಿರ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿನೇ ಇರಲಿ, ಇದು 3 ಓದ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೊಂದು ರಫ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟೀನಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ನನಗೆ I did not draw it properly because I can't use the pen on the screen. So here you can see a rough diagram of the cerebrum. All these parts don't want. In the pons you will see the apneustic center and pneumotaxic center, and in the medulla you will see respiratory rhythm center. Neural control just I wanted to show, and anyway I have got the ready-made picture from the net, so I have used that only for the explanation. Hope you understood. Fine. Just as we have got the slide on the screen, let me say respiratory rhythm center will help in the inspiration, and this inspiration is stopped by pneumotaxic center. It will make the expiration, and again for the inspiration apneustic center will give the message. This much is enough. Now let us go for the question answers. See, question answers already you have got, you have in your this thing study material. So all those questions only I have taken. So I will not read the questions, just I will leave for 1 minute on the screen, so you can just go through. I already told you, whatever topic you will see on a particular day, the related questions which will come, those you have to answer. Just go through the topic and then go through the questions which you have got. Fine. So just I told you that I will leave for 1 minute. Okay. all the see all these answers, you know, they are there in your study material. Fine. And here I did not separate 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 marks and the 5 marks. There also it is not that like this only they have taken from the PU question bank. It is in the PU question bank like this only it is that. So like that only I have taken. So all the answers are there in your study material. Fine. Now what we have studied today, that let us just revise once. You have studied about the regulation of the respiratory system. It is regulated by neural system and the chemical system. In the neural system, you have to remember about the centers which are located in the medulla oblongata and the pons orali. In the medulla oblongata, 2 centers are there, that is pneumotaxic center, apneustic center. And in the medulla oblongata, you have got respiratory rhythm center. Respiratory rhythm center, what it will do? It will stimulate contraction of the muscles for inspiration, which is for 2 seconds. The relaxation message will be given by the pneumotaxic center. The lungs relaxes, expiration occurs. So expiration will take place 3 seconds. Inspiration will take place for 2 seconds. So this is normal breathing. Again the next cycle will begin when the message from the apneustic center will be received by the RRC, that is respiratory rhythm center. Fine. So whenever there is a change from this normal breathing rate, normal respiratory rate, that how the respiratory rhythm center will sense, it is through the chemosensitive area, that is central chemosensitive area and peripheral chemosensitive area. And these chemosensitive area, they are sensitive for carbon dioxide and hydrogen ions. See, oxygen increased or decreased concentration is not sensed by the chemosensitive areas. So oxygen will not play any role in the regulation of respiration. So the central chemosensitive area is located in the medulla oblongata and by the side of the respiratory rhythm center, and peripheral chemosensitive area is located in the carotid artery and the aortic arc. So this will alter the respiratory rate according to the need. Maybe we may breathe fast or we may breathe slow. See, the pneumotaxic area is having negative effect on the respiratory rhythm, and apneustic area is having positive effect on the respiratory rhythm center. That is, it will help for taking enough air and it will help for stopping. That is, it will help for the expiration. Hope you understood today's concept. Now, in the next class, let us go for some MCQ questions. Fine, children? Bye.